It is a very nice day in the cottage garden. We're probably in autumn now, and as the nights start to get colder and the mornings potentially could have some of that frost, we're looking at good ways to prepare your flower beds and borders for the upcoming year, and good ways to sort of protect them over winter as well. I'm going to be sharing exactly what I do every year, some of my best tips, and everything I do to really get them prepared for success next year, so that they'll come back with tons and tons of flowers, because of course that is absolutely what we want. So here in early October, we're not quite at the point where it's frosting yet, but it's very likely that some point throughout the month we will see something. You know, I'm kind of very much open in the countryside here, as you can see, so we tend to get a lot of frosts. Now, the first few frosts won't be that bad. They'll be very gentle with the plants, so don't worry too much. But those later frosts in November and December, and especially January, which tends to be the coldest month, can be really brutal for these plants. I generally pick very hardy perennials. I look on the RHS website and I look at their hardiness ratings for my area. I believe for America, I'm something like zone 8B. I think that's correct. And so yeah, most of these are really hardy and they don't worry too much about that kind of stuff anyways. But still protecting them, you know, I do have some that are less hardy, so it's important to protect them as much as I can. And also, this isn't just for protecting them either. This is also just to really help improve the soil, keep moisture in, so that if it's a dry winter, you know, the moisture will be kept underground. There's really lots of good reasons to be doing this. So we're basically going to be giving them a good mulch, and we're also going to be doing a really good weed, just so that these flower beds are as fresh as possible. As I said, one of the first things we're going to be doing is a weed. Now, we can't really prepare or, you know, mulch our flower beds and borders without weeding it first. Mulch is really good because it'll help suppress weeds. And obviously, as you can see, I plant things very close together. So, you know, that helps with weeds, but you're never going to stop weeds completely. I don't use anything like weed killer. It's really bad for your garden. It's bad for wildlife and insects. So I really don't recommend using it. I'm definitely not a fan. Instead, I will go around and manually grab all of these up. So you can see this is obviously a weed. We all know these types of weed. They're kind of like the dandelion type ones. We can also see random bits of grass. So we're going to classify that as a weed. All of these I'm going to pick up by hand. And yeah, it's a time-consuming job, but if you keep lots of plants in your garden, you know, you don't have too much space, and you do mulch them as well at this time of the year, it shouldn't be too much of a problem in terms of keeping on top of weeding. It's something you just want to keep on top of throughout the year. Now, since it's been quite a wet autumn so far, we have had a lot of weeds come up, just because, you know, they love it. They love it. When it starts raining, they go crazy. And since I've got a few gaps around the garden where I've moved plants around, they have really come out in full force. So it's definitely going to take a little while for me to weed all of these, but it's an important job that definitely needs to be done. So what type of mulch should you actually use? Well, there's various different choices. You could use compost to sort of lock in that moisture. You could use things like wood chips, although personally, I don't love them. I feel like they suppress things too much, so self-seeded plants might not really like wood chips. But my choice, which has worked really well for me throughout the winters, is magic mulch, aka farmyard manure. Now, obviously, I bought this packet here for this video, so I can kind of show you nice and easily. A lot of people just go to farmyards and get lots of well-rotted manure. It is very important that the manure has to be well rotted. I believe it's over a year that it rots, because if it's not, it's just not going to have the right chemical composition for your soil, and it really won't be a good idea. So you need well rotted manure, and I tend to find that's the best option to mulch your flower beds with. Now, it smells, obviously, but it works. This is what I used last winter, this specific one. It's not sponsored, just so you know. If they want to sponsor me, that'd be great. It'd save me a lot of money in mulch. But like I said, you can also go to farmyards and such and ask them if they've got any. Sometimes they'll just give it away for free. Other times they might sell it if they're more of a big place, but I'm sure you'd get a pretty good deal on it anyways if you're, you know, local to the farm and such. So yeah, this is absolutely what I recommend. Well rotted manure, and it's really going to help lock in the moisture, stop the weeds from spreading too much throughout winter, and protect them, most importantly, from those really harsh frosts. Because sometimes even hardy perennials do need a bit of protection, and especially those less hardy ones, they're going to really appreciate that protection. So what I do with this is I effectively go around to all of my different plants and all of the soil that I can see, and I just place a sort of layer of it on the ground. Now the layer, I think generally they recommend you do a few inches, but just do what you can with how much you've got, really. Just try and cover as much as you can is what I recommend. Sometimes if your plants are still fully in growth, you will need to kind of go underneath them to really be able to get every piece of soil. But it's definitely well worth it, I think. It's really tricky at this time of the year, sort of early October, where all the plants are still so alive, especially if you've not had really any frosts yet. Because obviously, you know, how do I even get into this back border? This is a challenge that I'm literally thinking about now as I'm recording this video. How do I actually get in here to mulch everything? So it can be tricky, but at the same time, it's still really worth doing at this time of the year. And I recommend it even more highly if you've looked on your weather apps and such, or the local forecast on the radio or the news, and you've seen, okay, a frost is due in my area. If a frost is due in your area and you're worried about any of your plants, then you really have got to get on with it, regardless of how good your garden looks right now. I know some people in this time of the year do cut back all their plants, and that's more the traditional way of doing things. Personally, I don't, and I don't recommend it. I think it's best to leave all of your plants up for winter interest, and also it creates homes for all the insects who are hibernating over winter. So there's really no benefit to cutting them all back in autumn, in my opinion. Maybe just if you don't like seeing dead plants, but again, a lot of these dead plants are actually going to provide some interest, so it's not just plain. So I personally wouldn't, each to their own. I always do all my cutting back in spring. So yes, that does add an element of difficulty to when it comes to actually mulching the flower beds, especially if, you know, there's not much room to work with here, but it is still worth doing and getting in there as much as you can and just getting to all those areas so you can really weed everything and, of course, mulch them. Here's a good example of a plant that really needs mulching. Now, this is Chinese fountain grass. This one's called Hamlin, I believe, and this is so not hardy. The hardiness of this plant is like number 3, which in my area means that if it gets down below, I think pretty much anything in the sort of minuses, maybe like -2 or 3, this thing is going to struggle. But it completely survived last winter and it came back looking great. And I think the big reason for that is because I heavily mulched around the base of this. So where with a lot of the other soil, I might just do a thin layer. With this, I did a heavy layer because I really wanted to especially protect it. So that's why it's so important to know what the hardiness of your different plants and perennials around the garden are. That'll help you out so much to be able to appropriately protect them for winter. And the thing about this stuff as well, farmyard manure, is it really is a natural fertilizer. It's going to improve the quality of your soil so that next year things will grow even better and the condition of your soil will have improved. You know, I highly recommend mulching, especially if you have things like clay soil, and just doing things to improve the soil for next year. So we're going to take our little bucket just to show you an example of how I would mulch things. I'm going to pick an area where I can actually easily get to. How about here by my geranium Roseanne? Now, this isn't a particularly, you know, weak plant. This is very, very hardy, in fact, so I don't need to go too heavy. But first of all, we're going to see our soil. We're going to do any weeding that needs to be done. We really want to get in there and make sure we get all the roots up from these weeds. Some of them are easier to come up than others, but there you go. That's all the weeds gone from that little area. So we're going to grab a handful and we're going to put it down, and then we're going to just try and spread it as much as possible around the base of this plant and just over the soil wherever we can see any gaps. So like you can see, the difference in color, obviously, there we go. We're gonna just try and fill. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's as covered as possible around the actual bases of the plants, but on the actual soil, just get as much of it in as you can, because obviously, like I said, this stuff can be expensive if you're buying it new, or you might just have a limited amount that you can get from a farm. So, you know, you want to be sort of, you don't want to go too crazy with it right off the bat. You want to be able to have enough to fill your whole garden, especially if you've got a lot of flower beds. I do feel for you who have got quite large gardens, because mine's a sort of more medium, kind of almost smaller size really, so it's a bit easier for me to be able to do this sort of thing. But yeah, even in the hidden areas, we're going to fill it, and there you go. So that gives us a really good example of how we've filled that area, and you can really see the difference in the soil color. And that's just going to kind of sit there. I noticed a spot I missed. That's just going to kind of sit there now until, you know, spring, and rot down even more, mulch into the ground and protect our plants, which is fantastic. So yeah, there's lots of elements to this. Like I said, you know, you do have to do a lot of weeding. You do have to really get in there sometimes if your flower beds are quite deep, but it's so worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video on how to prepare your flower beds for the upcoming year. Let me know what you're doing to prepare your garden, and don't forget to subscribe if you like gardening content.